So we're going to tell you all about our fragrances this afternoon because it's a really big part of our business and probably one of our favourite parts.
Yes, it is.
So we've been making our own candles and diffusers for about 5 years now, I guess, something like that. And it was something that we never really sort of thought about until one day we thought, I wonder what our designs would look like on a porcelain beaker, and off we went down this rabbit hole as we do, and hence our Queen Cornwall range was born. We've got 6 fragrances, same in the diffusers, they marry up, and we spent an awfully long time choosing them, didn't we?
Yeah, we spent a huge amount of time getting the fragrances right, speaking to lots of different fragrant houses and getting the mix just right for what we wanted. And what was really important to us was to have a candle that really fills the room with fragrance when you light it, because there's nothing worse than having something, putting it on and you can't smell it at all. So as a consequence, we put 10% fragrance in our candles, which really makes really fills the room with fragrance.
We sampled so many, so we kept making them, and then we'd do the burn test. So in each of our houses we had like a candle in every room, lighting it, keeping the door shut, then going in to smell it and see if it actually...
opening the door, walking in and out, having a sniff and coming out again. And if it didn't pass the test of kind of, overwhelming you almost when you walked in, it was ditched.
Yeah. So finally we ended up with these 6 fragrances, which we've still got actually, and this is I like them all actually, but one of my favourites of course is our iconic octopus, and this is called Storm Brewing because when you smell it, it's kind of a bit ozonic, and it's got all my favourite ingredients in it, which are neroli and rose and jasmine and orange and tea tree, and it's a bit musky, and it's kind of a really warm fragrance. So I just love this one actually, and of course they burn for 50 hours, and we use a coconut and rapeseed oil mix wax, so it's totally eco with a cotton wick, so they burn really, really well. They don't smoke or anything, and of course, you get this beautiful bone china beaker to use when you've finished. And I've got them dotted all around my house actually. I've got makeup brushes in them, pencils. I know some people have used them as like latte cups and things, so there's something to keep even when you've burnt the wax.
This is my favourite, which is called Stargazy, and it's something, when we did it in the beginning, we were like, will anybody buy a candle with fish heads going around it? Because it seemed so ridiculous. But at the time we did this, we just started to supply some local shops with some of our products, and one of the suppliers came in to collect some candles, which at that point were made in a glass vessel, and we put the idea to him that maybe something with some of our prints on it, and he went bananas and he said yes, fantastic, that'd be great. So that just spurred us on to do it. But so not only do I love it because it was that first kind of conversation and thought about putting them in the porcelain beakers, it's also that the smell of this is just fantastic. This pink peppercorn, pomegranate and cardamom in this, and it's such a lovely warm smell. It's perfect for kind of like cozy days in your little cottage sitting by the fire, but also it smells fantastic on a summer's day as well. So that's my favourite.
And then our diffusers, and we spent a long time thinking about how we could do a diffuser that was different. We didn't want just a glass, vessel that everybody else does. So we have our little mini jugs, decorated with the designs, and we have these discs especially made. That took a lot of thought and trial and error and engineering. So it's like a double disc, and as you can see, it sort of sits in the top of the jug, and then we've got on the reed. So it's great, and then you just top up the jug, and you get enough to kind of fill it up twice, and then you can also buy refills, and that's kind of all part of the layering. Of course, we've got our room fragrance as well, which we've only just started doing. We haven't got here today, but
if you have one of those in your room and you go in, really turn your reeds over every day so that you've got the fresh scent at the top there. I mean, they last for months and months and months. They're really great value.
It's a soy base, so it doesn't evaporate like the alcohol based ones. It seems to just go on and on and on forever. So they're great value actually. And again, if for any reason you didn't want to refill it, you've got a fantastic little milk jug or flower jug. So we think they're quite perfect actually.